So we've got just a tick over a minute and a half before we get this one underway. A big welcome and a big shout out to everyone that's taking the live stream at home, wherever you're watching from. We welcome you and we trust that you've enjoyed the action so far this morning. The first game obviously between the Vic Kings and South Seas, with the South Seas taking the win. So we do have another little competition running here. Well, not competition, another raffle of sorts. You can buy a raffle ticket to get one of the best seats in the house. Of course, I speak of the big gay couch in between turns 3 and 4. And I'm proud to say, after drawing the ticket, the successful ticket holder is a blue A21, Jules. That's Jules over there. Jules is going to be sitting in the big gay couch and has one of the best seats in the house to watch all the roller derby action. Skaters now slowly taking to the track. BRDL first out on track. Both teams still just getting their final instructions from the bench before they make their way out. TRV, Team Regional Victoria, also now making their way out on track. Two jammers also out on track. First up for Ballarat, it's going to be Corey jamming. And for Team Regional Victoria, it's going to be Griff. Special shout out to 333, Team Regional Victoria, Little Miss, debuting today. Congratulations, and may you have a successful debut game. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together. For a lot of the skaters here today and teams here today, coming off the back of a little tournament we like to have every couple of years, TGSS of course, that gets held over in Adelaide on the Queen's birthday weekend. Ballarat featured quite nicely and had, I think, a reasonably successful TGSS tournament, as did Southsea, one of the teams also at TGSS. Vic Kings, obviously a made-up team of Kingston City Rollers and BRDL skaters, also represented at TGSS. So that rolling whistle means we are about 30 seconds away from getting this game started. So with that whistle, we get it going. Both jammers looking to try and find a way immediately off the jammer start line. Getting on through, picking up lead jammer for Ballarat. It is Corey. Unfortunately, though, for TRV 777, Crush with a penalty. Pat coming now through into turn number 4. Plenty of work to do for Griff, trying to find a way through. Ballarat defence having none of it, but gets on through. Ballarat picking up early points, 4 points in fact. Team Regional Victoria yet to open their account. Number 1 then, Sione jamming for BRDL on the jammer start line. It looks like Wildfire also on the jammer start line. Correction, that was 8 points for BRDL on that previous jam. So Sione just taken back then into turn number 4 momentarily, trying to find a way through on the outside part of the main straightaway, successfully so. Wildfire also getting on through. The pack now comes down into turns 3 and 4. Doesn't bother Sione too much. It's 4 more points being added to the Ballarat total. Oh, big hit then from Sione on .118. That's kick. Nicely done to the inside part of turns 1 there, Sione. Another 4 points as the pack slowly comes through into turn number 2. Wildfire just trying to find a way through on the seam of the TRV blockers. Another one heading to the penalty box. Again, that's Crush. Sione just going for a, well, seemingly a leisurely Sunday morning skate. As this one comes to an end. Team Regional Victoria open their account. They've got 12 points on the board. BRDL further 16, moving them along to 24. So it looks like then we have number 4, that's Rebecca jamming for BRDL. Nicely done to the outside part of turn 1. Lead jammer to BRDL. I'll get my words right one day. And looks like we have Cow Crusher then jamming for Team Regional Victoria, trying to find a way to the inside part of turn 2. Not going to happen. BRDL block is more than aware of that. 7-1, Black Ice making a trip to the penalty box. Another 4 points then. For BRDL as the pack comes through to turn number 4. Nicely done to the part of turn 4. Rebecca picking up another 4 points. As the pack now comes into 1 and 2. Nice hit. 3-3, that was Mari. Taking Cow Crusher to the outside part. Turn number 1, unfortunately for Cow Crusher, it's a penalty. Ballarat. Points and for BRDL, moving them along to 36. Team Regional Victoria remain. Corey getting on through, jammer straight away, wasting no time. Defense work there from TRV. Opportunity. Crews to have reset a few things, have a bit of a chat about what has happened so far in the game. Another fantastic part of roller derby is the photographers and having a look back at all the photos that will be taken throughout the course of today. Alrighty Promotions, Phil Northwood and Hawkeye. We thank them very much for their continued support in roller derby and everything that they do in terms of all the photos. And of course, Purple Nebula, I do apologise. I didn't have that on my list. I'm sorry, I do apologise. So that whistle means let's go. It is then number 4-2 for Ballarat, jamming. Of course, I speak of Rebecca. Wasting no time getting on through. Lead jam at Ballarat. Wildfire, it is then jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Big hit here to the outside parts of turn 1 and 2. We're going to take a short break while we get this sorted out. We'll be right back with you. So we're back now with the action on track. And jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Looks like number 142, Mama Mayhem. And 2-2, jamming for Ballarat. Of course, that's Corey. As the pack now comes down the back straight away. Nice little move to the inside part of turn number 3 there. Corey gets on through, 4 more points. As Ballarat then go to work defensively, trying to bust open the TRV defense, pardon me. And Corey has seen enough and called that off. So we get this one underway. Jamming for Team Regional Victoria, 111 Wildfire is lead jammer. Oh, big hit. Number 1, Sione jamming for Ballarat. A little bit of jammer on jammer action there. Wildfire trying to return serve. Sione having none of it, gets on through, 4 points. Pack now coming down the main straight away. Nice bit of defense work there from 118 kick on turn number 1 on Sione. Four points in. Wildfire adding to Team Regional Victoria. Also another 4 points for Sione being added onto the Ballarat total. As this one comes to an end. BRDL currently on 74. Team Regional Victoria on 22. With around 7 3/4 minutes remaining in this first half. That whistle means let's get it on. It is then Rebecca jamming for Ballarat and lead jammer. 142, Mama Mayhem jamming for Team Regional Victoria. .118, that's kick. Coming back out on track after serving a penalty, unfortunately for Mama Mayhem. Another trip to the penalty box. Power jam then for Ballarat. Another 4 points in for Rebecca on that previous pass. Plenty of skaters making their way to the penalty box area, which is not ideal. Black Ice End trying to put some nice defense on Rebecca. Rebecca having none of it, gets on through. A little bit of jammer and jammer action there on turn number 4. And it looks like it's going to continue on the back straightaway. Rebecca just taking Mama Mayhem out of the track on 2 separate occasions on that previous jam. So it is then Ballarat on 86. Team Regional Victoria still on 22. As we get this one underway, it is then Hellfire jamming for Team Regional Victoria. And 2-2, that's Corey jamming for Ballarat. And getting on through, picking up lead jammer, it is Corey. Pat now comes through turn number 4. Just a 2-point win for Ballarat, moving them along to 88. Regional Victoria momentarily stuck on 22. So it is a number 118 kick, jamming for Team Regional Victoria, up against number 1 Sione jamming for Ballarat. And as quick as a flash, Sione gets on through, picking up lead jammer. Nice bit of defensive work there from Ballarat, taking kick to the inside part of turn 2. Trying to find a way through on the main, or the back straightaway rather. Ballarat defence giving kick plenty to think about. Sione just taken to the inside part of turn number 3, recycled back and quickly to rejoin back on track. As the pack now comes down the main straightaway, and that's where we leave that one. Ballarat adding another 7 points, moving them along to 95. Team Regional Victoria on 22. About 3:20 remaining in this first half. So number 4-2 jamming for Ballarat. It is Rebecca getting on through, lead jammer. 1-1-1. Wildfire jamming for Team Regional Victoria. As the pack now comes through. Turn number 3, just nicely through to the inside part and picking up 4 points, Rebecca, before calling that one off. Of course, up next on track after this game, it is the Valley Cats taking on East Vic Roller Derby. So we have Corey jamming for Ballarat. And Lil Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Unfortunately though for Lil Miss, making a trip to the penalty box. So the blocker advantage clearly going in Ballarat's favour, 4-2 blocker advantage. As the cavalry is slowly released out of the penalty box there for Team Regional Victoria, but all a little too late. That 8 points picked up on that previous jam for Ballarat takes them over the 100 mark, 107 playing 22. So first official timeout for the game. I don't have. We could have music. So number one then for Ballarat, it is Sione, and a power jam start for Ballarat. And nicely through to the inside part of turn two, lead jammer, Ballarat 3-3-3, a little miss and jamming for Team Regional Victoria, wasting no time getting through the pack. On that previous pass, a little miss and showing some nice footwork to the inside part of turn number two. So we have then 4-2, Rebecca jamming for Ballarat, and 111 Wildfire jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Getting on through, picking up lead jammer. As the pack now comes through for turn number 4. Nicely done to the inside part, turn number 4. Rebecca picking up the 4 points. As we get this one underway, 2-2 jamming for Ballarat. Corey, lead jammer. Little miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Ballarat defence going to work on Little Miss, trying to make life very, very difficult. Little miss down the back straightaway, showing some fancy footwork, but the Ballarat blocks are having none of it. 4 points then it is for Corey and Ballarat on that previous pass. As the pack now makes its way through to turn number 2. Corey calls it off before Little Miss could make any inroads on the Team Regional Victoria scoreline. They still remain on 22, and BRDL on 122. Good song. Good song. So the whistle gets blown, the hammer gets dropped to get this one underway. It is Hellfire then jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Trying to find a way through on the outside of turn 2, and successfully so. Hellfire picking up lead jammer. And for the first time in this game, Sly Devil jamming for Ballarat. Team Regional Victoria blockers at the back of the pack. They're trying to give Sly Devil penalty to think of. Unfortunately though for Hellfire, it is a penalty. So it's a power jam now for Ballarat. As the pack slowly come off the main straightaway into turn 1. And the defence work then from Ballarat, trying to break the Team Regional Victoria blockers apart. As the pack now comes through turn number 3. Wildfire then released back on track. That's not stopping a Sly Devil, rather. It's another 4 points being added to the Ballarat total. As the pack now comes down the back straight away. Looking for and taking the outside line of turn number 3. Nicely, Sly Devil. 4 more points in for Ballarat as the pack now comes into turn number 4. And the Ballarat defence is taking Wildfire to the outside part of turn 4 as this one comes to an end. So we've got another official review, so some more music and tunes coming to you courtesy of Beard. So I'm going to shut up and we're going to listen to some more music. So 4-2, Rebecca jamming for Ballarat. Again, wasting no time getting through the pack and establishing lead jammer. Looks like we have 3-3-3, Little Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Trying to and successfully using the outside part of turn 2. On that previous pass, Little Miss. So we have then number 1, Sione jamming for Ballarat. Up against Mama Mayhem jamming for Team Regional Victoria. And it is Sione getting through the pack first. Picking up lead jammer. Nice move to the inside part of turn 1. Sione picking up the 4 points. With it all to do though, Mama Mayhem coming down the back straight away now, and the Ballarat blockers giving Mama Mayhem plenty to think about. Slicing through on that previous pass off of turn 4 to pick up the 4 points, Sione. As the pack now comes into turn number 1. Another 10 points then being added to Ballarat's total. They find themselves on 154 and Team Regional Victoria on 29. So we have Corey jamming for Ballarat. Looks like we have Lil Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Corey through the pack first though, lead jammer Ballarat. And the Ballarat defence going to work on Little Miss here down in turn number 2. Nice bit of defensive work there by number 4-7, that's Alice. Not to be outdone, Scream Stress number 1-2 for Ballarat. As the pack now gets a little bit of speed coming through turn number 4. Jamming for Ballarat, 4-2, Rebecca. Again, as quick as a flash, gets on through, lead jammer, Ballarat. 111, Wildfire jamming for Team Regional Victoria. The initial pass then done for Rebecca. It's all about points. It's another 4 points then being added. Now coming down into turn number 1, and Rebecca just has a look over the shoulder and says, I've seen enough, that'll do. After adding another 8 points to BRDL, moving them along to 170, Team Regional Victoria on 29. As we get this jam underway. Three, Little Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria is your lead jammer. Looks like number 16, that's Killer Curls jamming for Ballarat. Nicely done. So that just about brings us, no, that in fact does bring us to our half-time. So it is Ballarat Roller Derby League on 170, Team Regional Victoria on 33. We're going to take a short 15-minute break, and then we'll come back with more action in the second half between Ballarat Roller Derby League, BRDL Rat Pack, and TRV Team Regional Victoria. Alrighty, we're not too far off getting round two. Second half action underway here between Ballarat Roller Derby League, the Rat Pack, and TRV Team Regional Victoria. All the refs are in position. That whistle gives the skaters 30 seconds to get on track. So second half action then underway, and it is jamming for Ballarat, number 4-2, that's Rebecca. And jamming for Team Regional Victoria, 111, Hellfire. Oh, not Hellfire? Yes, Hellfire. Wildfire. I'll get it right. So Wildfire, it is the recognised lead jammer. Both jammers now coming through onto the main straightaway. The pack then slowly moving through onto the back straightaway for turn number 2. Nicely done. Wildfire to the inside part of turn number 4 to pick up the 4 points. Not to be outdone, Rebecca also picking up 4 points on that previous pass. Both jammers just seemingly taking a leisurely skate through the outside parts of turn 3 and 4 on that previous pass, and also picking up points as well. So BRDL moving along to 182, Team Regional Victoria on 45. Difference of 137. So we find Little Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria, number 333. Jamming for Ballarat, number 1, Sione. And getting on through nice and quickly, Sione, lead jammer, Ballarat. BRDL blockers then coming through turn number 2, holding up Lil Miss nicely. As Pat now comes down the back straight away. All sorts of defense going on between both teams, but both jammers more than up for the task as they come past through off of turn number 2. Pat now trying to get a little bit of speed coming down the front straight away. Sione has seen enough and called it off. After picking up 8 points, moving Ballarat along to 190. And Team Regional Victoria yet to add to their halftime total of 45. Two, Corey jamming for Ballarat. 111, Wildfire jamming for Team Regional Victoria. But getting on through, lead jammer, it is Corey. Wildfire just taken to the outside part of turn 2, recycles back on track nice and quickly. 777, that's crushed. Nice bit of defensive work on 2-2, Corey. So just the 4 points then for Ballarat being added from that previous jam. Nice bit of footwork there from number 4 to Rebecca, jamming for Ballarat, and lead jammer. One 4-2 jamming for Team Regional Victoria, Mama Mayhem. So number 1, jamming for Ballarat, it is Sione. Some nice footwork on the toe stops there coming through turn number 1 and picking up lead jammer for Ballarat. It is Sione. Four points being added to Ballarat. That 4 points taking them over the 200 mark. 203 playing 45. The 2 jammers on track. Number 2, Corey jamming for Ballarat. And 3, Lil Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Nice bit of defense then from Team Regional Victoria through turn number 2. Corey more than up to the challenge, gets on through, 4 points on that previous pass. Ballarat defense then on the back straightaway, giving Little Miss plenty to think about. 266 Beck working very nicely with 4-7 Alice in the triangle there. Just a reminder about the raffle, if you haven't bought your raffle tickets, you can do so at the entry into the stadium. So 1-1-1, Wildfire jamming against 4-2, Rebecca. Picking up lead jammer, it is Wildfire. Oh, nice bit of defensive work there on Rebecca by number 118. That was kick for Team Regional Victoria. Wildfire picks up 4 points, moving the Team Regional Victoria total along to 49. And Ballarat just picking up the 3 points there, moving them along to 18. So number 1 jamming for Ballarat, Sione gets on through, lead jammer. And jamming for the first time in this game, number 7-1 for Team Regional Victoria is Black Ice. As the pack now comes into turn number 1. Oh, Black Ice met solidly there by 266. That's Beck for Ballarat. Pack now trying to get a little bit of speed up coming down the front straight. Unfortunately there for Black Ice, it's a forearms penalty. So it's now going to be power jam for Ballarat. Pushing very nicely through, wasting no time getting the points after being released out of the penalty box. It is number 1, Sione, jamming for Ballarat. The pack now coming through turn number 3 and 4. Sione looking for and finding a nice little gap to the inside part of turn 4, gets on through. And 4 points to go with it as the pack now comes into turn number 1. Black Ice is back out on track after being released from the penalty box. Immediately starts trying to put some more points on the board for TRV. Ourselves under another official timeout by the hand gestures there. Both jammers on that previous jam picking up 12 points apiece. BRDL with that moving along to 230. And Team Regional Victoria on 61. So we then get this one back underway. Jamming for Ballarat, 2-2 Corey. Jamming for Team Regional Victoria, 1-1-1 Wildfire. Wildfire getting on through first, picking up lead jammer. As the pack comes through. Nice little apex jump there from Wildfire. And points as well. So just a reminder, the raffle tickets, they're $2 each or 3 for $5. They're just at the doorway here as you come into the stadium. Make sure you grab yourself some tickets for the raffle. Sly Devil jamming then for Ballarat. And it looks like number 6-8 Bender jamming for the first time in this game for Team Regional Victoria. Sly Devil though wasting no time getting through the pack and becoming lead jammer. The initial passes all done and done. Point scoring passes are also done and dusted. 4 points on the previous pass. As the pack now comes through in down the back straightaway. And we're just going to take a short break. So with the skaters now returning back on track, we're not too far away from a resumption here. So we get this one back underway. 111 Wildfire getting on through again. Lee jamming nice and quick. Jamming for Ballarat, though it is Rebecca, number 4-2. And it's going to be a power jam then for Team Regional Victoria, and the blocker advantage also going the way of TRV. A good opportunity then for Wildfire to get some points. Oh, big hit then from Mari, unfortunately deemed as a high block. Wildfire had seen enough after that. Having a little bit of a hit to the mouth. He's going to get checked out here. So as we get this one back underway, 333, Lil Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Waste no time getting on through. Lead jammer, TRV. And whilst all that was happening, being released out of the penalty box, number 4-2 for Ballarat, Rebecca. So the official review that was called, Ballarat were seeking to have a forearms penalty overturned on 4-2, the jammer for Ballarat. Unfortunately, that call did stand, and that jammer had to see out their time in the penalty box. So number 1, Sione jamming for Ballarat. Lead jammer. 333, Lil Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Oh, big hit. Sione taking down number 19 right in front of the commentary box there. That was Cow Crusher. All legal, all good. There's a pack now coming through turn number 4 onto the main straightaway, and Sione's seen enough and called it off. Ballarat on 242, Team Regional Victoria on 71. So it is Corey jamming for Ballarat. Number 2-2, nice footwork off of the main straightaway to get on through and pick up lead jammer. 3-1, Griff jamming for Team Regional Victoria. As the pack now comes down on the back straightaway, TRV, oh, nice hit there from number 6-8 on Corey. Of course, that was Bender. .247 playing 71. So it's a 176-point lead going the way of Ballarat, as we find ourselves under an official timeout. So 333, Lil Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. It's a power jam start for TRV. After there was a late call penalty on 2-2, that's Corey from the previous jam. So 4 points then added on to TRV, moving them along to 75. BRDL on 247, of course, Ballarat there. So as we get this jam underway, it is 4-2, Rebecca jamming for Ballarat. Out front, lead jammer. And 142, Mama Mayhem jamming for Team Regional Victoria. So 3-3-3 jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Of course, that's Lil Miss. BRDL jamming for Ballarat. That's 1-6-6. Lead jammer, Ballarat. As the pack now comes down back straighto, a little bit of a stumble there. Trying to find a way. So just the 1 point there for Ballarat on that previous jam. So it looks like we have 142 Mama Mayhem jamming for Team Regional Victoria. And number 1 jamming for Ballarat. Of course, it is Sione getting on through, lead jammer with the pack now coming through turns 1 and 2. Some nice defense there from 777. That's Crush on 97. That was lucky. Pack now coming off of turn number 2, making its way down the back straightaway. Getting through 4 points being added to the Ballarat total. Pack now coming down the main straightaway into turn number 1. Sione seen enough and called it off. Not before adding another 6 points to BRDL's total, moving them along nicely to 255. Team Regional Victoria on 75. It's a nice little gap of 180 odd points as we get this jam underway. 2-2, Corey jamming for Ballarat, lead jammer. Three, of course, jamming then for Team Regional Victoria is Lil Miss. Nicely done on that previous pass, Corey and Ballarat, 4 more points. Sly Devil making a visit to the penalty box area. Nice little move there from Black Ice, 7-1 on 118. Nick just sacrificing and trying to get the jammer held up, unsuccessfully though. Corey just takes a nice move to the outside part of turn number 4. Last time around, picking up the 4 points. So 15-point jam there for Corey. Moving BRDL along to 270. Team Regional Victoria on 79. So we have 142 Mama Mayhem jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Number 4-2, Rebecca jamming for that. Nice defensive work off of turn number 2 by Ballarat. Number 4-7 for Ballarat there. Alice taking Mama Mayhem to the outside part of turn number 2. Number 266, Beck trying to do the same thing to Mama Mayhem. All the while that was going on, number 42, Rebecca for Ballarat. Just skating around, picking up all the points. Pack slowly coming through turn at number 4. Nicely done there by Rebecca. Coming through turn number 2 to pick up yet another 4 points for Ballarat. The Ballarat defence giving Mama Mayhem plenty to think about coming into turn number 1. Now the pack gets a little bit of speed up coming through turn number 2. Oh, big hit then on Rebecca. That was by number 3-1, Griff. A very handy 16-point jam there for Rebecca and BRDL. Sees them on 286. And Team Regional Victoria on 79. We've got just on 5 minutes remaining in this game. So we find ourselves under a team timeout called by Ballarat. So with that, we get the game back underway. And jamming for Ballarat, number 1, Sione. Getting on through, lead jammer Ballarat. 3-3-3, Little Miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Has got a little bit of work to do, just the one Ballarat blocker to negotiate, does that, gets on through. But not before Sione could see what was going on and getting 4 points, then calling it off. So we have then Sly Devil jamming for Ballarat and Griff jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Griff getting on through, picking up lead jammer. Nice hit then on Griff by Rebecca from Ballarat. Griff slow to get up, but I'm sure they're going to be okay. They skate off. So the 3 points then for Team Regional Victoria, moving them along to 82 BRDL. The 4 points, moving them along to 294. Can they crack 300 with 3 minutes to go? So we get this one underway. 4-7 Alice jamming for the first time in this game for Ballarat. Trying to find a gap, and successfully so, off of turn number 2. Lead jammer, Ballarat. 3-3-3, little miss jamming for Team Regional Victoria. Some fancy footwork and a little bit of backward skating there. As the pack now comes through into turn number 2. Alice has seen enough and called it off. Not before picking up some points though, 4 in fact. As Ballarat edge ever so closely to the 300 mark, 298 playing 82. So it is then 2-2 Corey jamming for Ballarat up against 888 Thrill House. Jamming for the first time in this game for Team Regional Victoria. Big hit on Corey, then taken to the outside part of turn number 1. Trying to get on through both jammers at the front of the pack, but successfully so. Number 2-2 for Ballarat, that is Corey. And Thrill House also getting on through. And that 3 points does in fact take Ballarat over the 300 mark, 301. Playing 82, Team Regional Victoria. So it's like we've got number 4-2 then, Rebecca jamming for Ballarat. And getting on through, lead jammer, it is Rebecca. A little bit of work to do down here on turn number 2 for 3-3-3, jamming for Team Regional Victoria. That's a little miss. Finding a gap nicely, getting on through. As the pack now just coming to a bit of a halt off of turns, well, in between turn 3 and 4. We have an unofficial final score, which means we're pretty much at the end of this game. We're just going to have some referees check a few things to make sure everything was all as it should be. And both teams now will make their way to their respective benches. So that rolling whistle then does bring about the end of this game, which sees BRDL, Ballarat Rat Pack, victors over Team Regional Victoria. The final score, I can't quite see because there's a referee standing right in front of me. Thank you. Team Regional Victoria, 305, Ballarat 82, Team Regional Victoria. So if you want to give up a high five to your favourite skater, make your way down to the side of the track now where you can see many person doing just that. And it looks like Team TRV are going to congratulate Ballarat. So both teams making their way around. Number 1 for Ballarat, Sione. 1-2 Screamstress. 1-6 Killer Curls. 1-6-6 Brody. Number 2-1-6 Baby H. 2-2 Corey. 2-6-6 Beck. 3-3 Mari. 4-2 Rebecca. 4-7 Alice. 6-9-6 Sly Devil. 9-7 Lucky and 9-9 Gussie. Team Regional Victoria is 111 Wildfire, 118 Kick, 142 Mama Mayhem, number 19 Cow Crusher, number 31 Griff, 333 Little Miss, number 68 Bender, 71 Black Ice, 888 Thrill House, and 777 Crush. Congratulations to Ballarat Roller Derby League, the Rat Pack, on taking out that win. We're going to have a short-ish break. And when we come back, we have another exciting game to get through, of course. The two teams getting ready to take the track in game number 3. It is the Valley Cats taking on East Vic.